talked about the open DP spots and the DPs that have left. You have one DP who is still here, who, in my opinion, may be one of the more underappreciated players in MLS for how he's capable of turning a game. We've seen that when David Accam has been on the field and healthy, he can break open a game on his own. Every time he touches the ball, he can change the game. We know also that he's drawn interest from England and from overseas as a player of that level probably will. Do you see him as someone who's a part of the long-term plans here? I'm guessing he's been here now 2 seasons, that he would probably have 1 more year left at least on the contract.
Yeah, we have David's services under control through 2018. Next year's guaranteed. The 18th season is our option. David is incredibly happy in Chicago, with the Fire, with Pano and the new coaching staff. He really believes that despite where we sit in the standings today, that we are a team on the rise and we will build that championship program. In fact, David's representation and I have already had a very positive discussion about extending his term beyond his current contract. And I think it shows in his play. You know, he has more to give and more to show. He recognizes that. He's embracing that. He's embracing being pushed by our coaching staff to get better. But right now, we are thrilled with David. He's happy with us. And at the least, we have him for 2 more seasons.
When you look at the pieces you've brought in, I think you can say for sure there are some players who have proven to be starting quality MLS players, in my opinion, for certain. Guys like Kapilov and Delu. Certainly you've been pleased, I'm sure, with the younger players who have stepped up. Campbell, Ramos, Vincent, Cham has shown some growth. Goosens has shown some growth. Are you happy with the progress you've made thus far and with those players? And when you look at the roster, was there a sense that you knew, okay, some players would work, some players wouldn't work that you were bringing in, but that you've made the right moves and you have maybe the right percentage of hits in year 1?
You left out João Almeida, who, just as an aside, I think deserves credit. He has really grown this year as his fitness has come about and as he's become accustomed to the league, and he's been giving us very valuable minutes. You know, we do feel good about the group, and we do feel good about their progress. It's agonizing because you look back at our last game against Red Bull, and I know that those who don't watch the game can just look at stats and say we only had the ball for a third of the time. And Red Bull is a high-quality team. Supporter Shield winner last year, MLS Cup contender with a lot of great players. But, you know, other than a glancing header and a header right at Sean Johnson, and I would argue their 2 goals were perhaps more our cause than theirs. And I would also argue that we had 2, maybe 3 excellent chances to push it at 3-1, that our progress is in inches instead of meters and instead of kilometers, if I can mix metric system with. But we are getting there.
Yeah, talking about progress and how you measure it, how big would a U.S. Open Cup or even playing in a final for a championship mean in showing that progress?
Well, first, if that happens, that means we've defeated a great side in New England on the road, just as we hope to do against Salt Lake as well this weekend. So it would be massive. Look, we've put a lot into this tournament from the beginning. Our players have bought into the tournament from the beginning. This is important. We have stated we want to be the first pro club to 5 Open Cup championships. And so we will put a lot behind Tuesday with the hopes that we give the fans of Chicago a chance to cheer us on for another title.